Hey, hey everybody. Hey look, it works. Oh my god, it works. Hey, so I was trying to stream here the podcast and it wouldn't work. So I took a break, I got it redone, started the podcast back up, and look at where I landed at shopsketchcraft.com. Hey Brandon.
Yes, sir.
I did not expect to go to shopsketchcraft.com, but hey, I ended up there.
I am always there. I just have it bookmarked, so when I load my internet, it goes right there. Just so I could tease myself because you won't let me buy anything anymore from shopsketchcraft.com.
Let's look at some of the things Brandon can't buy. Let me just peruse you here for a second to two things Brandon's not allowed to purchase. This right here are these Mega Man tribute prints. Now, what are these? These were little 5x7 Copic markers and watercolor things I did years ago for a Kickstarter that I got hosed on. But this little artwork came out nice, and this was me practicing Copics. And guess what, Brandon?
What?
Guess what? These pieces right here ended up in the 30th anniversary for Mega Man. Let's go to my Facebook page. Let's go to the Facebook page, and I can prove it as soon as it loads. You think I would have had this all squared away and set up? No, everything loads on Facebook, the ads, except your content. Oh, look, there it is. So here's a picture of the book that I'm holding. I got two copies myself, and look inside. I got two whole pages in the fan art section in the background, right there. Boom, two whole pages, and you can get those prints right now at where, Brandon?
Shopsketchcraft.com.
That's so awesome, isn't it? And look, every time you guys buy something at what is it again?
Shopsketchcraft.com.
I get to take a drink of pumpkin beer.
Oh my!
It's like a cookie that you can drink. You know what I mean? It's like a cookie you can drink, and yeah, that's it. Shopsketchcraft.com. So go check it out. Check out the 30th anniversary tribute book. Really awesome to be in there. Makes me feel like I'm a legitimate pro, but not really. But you know what I mean. It's nice to be in there. Never would have thought 8-year-old or how old was that? 8 or 9 years old when that game came out? I don't know. 1987's Rob. Yeah. 8 years old would have 9 years old would have been able to be in a Mega Man book. So pretty awesome. Go to shopsketchcraft.com. I gotta go, everybody. We gotta get on the pass. It's taking too long. Let's go. Podcast is so late because it's been like 2 weeks since I did this because I got sick and then I had a birthday. Hey Brandon, what's up?
Hi, everybody.
Did I tell a lie?
No, you don't.
I was sick, wasn't I?
You sounded horrible, and I had to listen to it all the time.
Yeah, it's funny. So what I was doing was a couple weeks ago I got sick, and my wife actually got sick, and I took care of her, and I made chicken soup with stock and all the trimmings from scratch, and gave her ginger. I made fresh ginger, lemon, honey tea, and all that stuff. Well, let's just put on the image there. And yeah, I did all that, and then she got me sick. Like right before my birthday. So what I was doing was I'm working this this gig I'll talk about later, and the work can't stop on that. So basically, I was sleeping for about 12 to 16 hours, and then drawing for about another 8 while I was sick.
Yeah.
So that just to get the work out, and I had to make my own friggin' soup because my wife she can't.
I love too that. So me and Rob talk on a I'm normally on a day-to-day basis, you know, give or take. And Rob calls me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm heading to the store. The wife's sick. Getting some stuff for chicken noodle soup." Then I don't hear from Rob for like a day or so, and then I get a phone call. I was like, "Yeah, I'm heading to the store to get stuff for chicken noodle soup," and I'm like, "This is Groundhog Day? Like, what the hell's going on?" You're like, "Yeah, now I'm sick and I have to go make more," and I'm like, "Oh man." So it was just, it was funny. Just you're like, "Yeah, I'm going to get all these things." 2 days later, I'm going to get it again because now I'm sick.
Yeah, no,
And
I
you
get.
you sounded disgusting, horribly disgusting.
Well, I mean, I have a normal kind of disgustingness to myself, you know. I like to think, and but this was, I mean, you could definitely tell, right?
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I'm not feeling. You ever get sick and you talk like that guy from the Fantastic Beasts? What's his name? What was that guy's name?
I
Redmayne.
didn't see it.
Eddie Redmayne. He talks like this in every movie he's in. So
Sounds like Voldemort.
yeah, he kind of talks like Voldemort, but like for real. Anyhow, yeah, it's true. Anyhow, but I can't even make up. I really can't even make up the voice that I get when I get sick. It's so not me, right?
Right.
Yeah. But it's been, I haven't been sick in almost 2 years, so it's been a while. It's been a while. Anyhow, so I got unsick just in time for my birthday, and then my cousin came into town, and she's kind of like my sister. So she was born on 9/9/77, and I was born 10/10/78. So, you know, we like have this month that we share a birthday, you know, in between. And so she drove down from Montana, and then I decided to I got my work done during the day, but then I spent my entire nights just hanging out, you know. It's something I wouldn't have done years and years ago, but I've learned the value of living, folks. Yeah, it just honestly, it helps. Here's the problem. The problem is once you start doing that enough, you don't want to go back to working. You know,
Especially when you work from home, right? I mean, it's like, why go upstairs to work and draw when you could just hang out downstairs and relax, right? It's got to be worse than
yeah, and
going to a studio.
you would think that. Okay, so I stopped posting things because I'm not working. And so you would think, oh no, I'm not posting things. I would get like addicted to posting things to get likes or something, right? Here's the thing, Brett. I get more followers when I don't post. So I gained like 35 followers on my Facebook, you know, while I didn't post. Another 100 followers on my Instagram. I guarantee you when I post something in a day or two, I'm going to lose people.
Right.
So actually, when I don't post, I'm like, man, I like not posting. Grow the audience. We've gone up almost like 50 people on the YouTube. You know, and I guarantee you, when this post tonight, we'll lose 30. You know, like, yeah, well, you know, that's SketchCraft for you.
Well, we appreciate you guys while you're here, guys and gals and everybody.
On a separate note, I was sitting there the other day going, like, you know, I haven't heard from Streecher in a while. I shit you not. I said this to myself, and that very day, she posted on YouTube, "Hey, I haven't heard you guys in a while. Like, it's amazing, new podcast." So the last time I did that, I was telling my buddy, I'm like, you know, I haven't heard from Kanye West in a while, and look what happened. Yeah. So I'm staying out of it. You know what I mean? I want to be careful about who I pontificate. Like, I wonder who's been up to something. So yeah. What have I been doing other than that? So I have been working on stuff.
Can you talk about your new process of things?
My new process of things. So I was so look. This is an audio podcast, right? But we can kind of go look at some video things here while I'm streaming. For those who catch us on Google Play or iTunes, you'll just have to go see this video. I put them up on the YouTube, by the way. So those out there in podcast land, in the future, you should know every one of these ends up on the YouTube page. And so when I show things, I'm describing things, you can actually see them. So what I'm going to do is go to my... you need to re-upload that video you put on the DeviantArt, by the way, because it's broken link. I told you sometimes when it uploads, it doesn't upload properly.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's got the broken link thing. So, not good. Yay, DeviantArt. So I'm going to kind of show something here really quickly. So this is this little sketchy thing I did. Some Youngblood characters about a month back. And the shaft dude I drew in about an hour, and I think I spent like 2 or 3 hours on the Prophet. Mostly because I was dicking around trying to figure out how to like combine the colors of his original outfit with that like Soul Saga Mobius plat armor thing, you know? Mm-hmm. But this was super like roughy, right? Like I spent a little time on the faces, everything else was super rough. And so I kind of call this scribbly style. And I've talked about maybe doing more of this, particularly with anything sequential. and so on this thing I'm working on, they basically needed me to do some things that are more sequential for development.
Right.
And so I'm like, well, good time to practice this idea, right? Yeah, you know, I'm on the dime, getting paid. So, sorry guys, pumpkin beer. So I gave it a shot, and I showed Brandon some of the results, which I cannot share with any of you. But
get the exclusive.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Brandon, of the scribbly style that you've seen so far?
I like it. I like it a lot. And as a person who owns different versions of your art, I like it when you use a lot of creative ways of shapes and structures and colors without going crazy detailed. Like you can do crazy details. I've seen your Prophet stuff that you've done and your Batmans that are like super detailed, but this newer stuff that's geared kind of more towards like what you just shown, the Youngblood, which is, for the people that can't see it, is like a anime cell shaded kind of
to kind of show people some of the more crazier details. Let me move you all to this one of these Transformers covers I did last summer, right? And this was all hand drawn, right? This is all hand inks, kind of like that chunky style. And this shit took forever, you know. And the problem I kind of feel like I'm running into when I do this is I just don't feel like it's helped my career any. Just in terms of getting noticed and the time spent doing things. Like I don't know.
It feels like you spending 70 hours on this compared to, let's say, 2 hours on that Youngblood stuff. You get the same amount of views and the same amount of like, I like that.
And I actually get shout-outs from pros with the scribbly shit. Like, I had Kelsey Shannon and a few other people were like, this is awesome. And I'm like, God fuck, dude. You know, like, what the hell? Right. So, here's the thing, man. Maybe the universe is telling me something. Like, don't try so hard. I don't know. But I do...
Be a try hard, Rob.
I do... Hashtag try hard, right? So, don't be a try hard. That might end up on a... We're going to get some SketchCraft T-shirts going here soon. I can guarantee you right now, you see that little frowny face?
Yes.
That is going on a shirt. You know, I might put like hashtag Sketch Strong on there or some shit like that. Like, but I definitely want to wear that frowny face and make the frowny face. So I'll probably make a mega potato shirt.
And I look like that, so you know.
Yeah. I'll make them, and I'll send you one, and you'll have to wear it.
Hell yeah, you make him wearing some like, because I've been playing on my Twitch channel, Black Ops 4 lately. You put him in some Black Ops 4 gear or face paint. Oh, I'd wear the shit out of that while I stream.
I don't know about putting face paint on the potato. It might end up looking like he's got blackface or some shit. I don't. You know what I mean, Brandon?
Like, maybe the war helmet and maybe a weapon from the game or something.
Possibly, yeah. Okay.
This is why I don't think of the ideas. I'm just the eye candy.
Yeah, 12, 15 years doing T-shirts for mass market. You immediately, I go every way. Anytime someone comes with a T-shirt idea in the art department, you just basically have to think every way it can go wrong. Like, like anytime someone mentions, hey, we could do this, my mind just, you know, like Doctor Strange in Infinity War when he's going through 14.5 million possibilities.
Did that ever happen to you? Did it ever go really bad?
Did it ever go really, really bad?
Yeah,
on like me?
Yeah.
No, because I always think about this. Like, it's just...
Can you share a story that it went bad on somebody that you can think of? Or, I mean, I know I'm throwing you on the spot here.
Can I think of... Well, there was... So we did one where a guy did a shirt called... we had to do humor for kids, and he put Special Forces.
Oh
And he
no.
made the like a little badge, and the smiley face looked semi. You know the R word we're not allowed to use.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, "Durr," you know, like he's like, hey, special forces, and a
Oh
mom
no.
really didn't go too
Oh yeah.
well. There's a few, man, where it's just like, they get this idea of using a Spider-Man. This happens a lot with the superheroes, where they'll put a superhero on a shirt, and they go, "That's cool, right?" And I have to point out that his dong is showing or something, like because
Yeah. Yeah.
artists like to draw, anatomically correct. I don't know why, man.
Right.
And then you go, "Whoa, that's how they look." I'm like, "Yeah, but that's not like on a little kid's shirt, and they're gonna get punched, and because So we had things. I think one of the things that this is kind of a separate issue because, look, I said we caught a lot of these, but anytime you see a shirt go horribly wrong, like there was one a while back, I remember something like it was a Wonder Woman shirt or a Catwoman shirt, but it was like not positive towards women, in some way. I
Yeah.
can't remember. It was a big scandal. But anytime I see those make it onto a show floor, I keep thinking like, why didn't you guys, like I can't possibly be that you didn't catch that, like because that's all you're doing is constantly like trying to find ways this can go really, really, really. Okay, here's one. Avengers Assemble. You have the word ass right on a shirt. So you have to like constantly look at those shirts to make sure the word ass isn't like really highlighted. You have to really make certain, things like that. Using Darth Vader and like they'll put, this is a constant problem with putting Darth Vader on a shirt, is he'll hold the lightsaber in ways that looks like his,
Yeah.
So I've caught a lot of those. Like, just saying, putting it out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Strong with the Force. So there was one though, which I was at this company for a month, ODM, and I got the job at Play, so I put in my 2 weeks. So they stopped putting me in meetings because anytime you leave, they don't want you knowing there's secret shit coming out because they think maybe you're going to a competitor. Even though I was like, I'm going to a video game magazine, they don't believe you. So I wasn't in on some meetings, and so they shipped this shirt that I would have caught, but I wasn't there to catch it. And so the freelancer, it was this giant shirt with like an airbrushed Woody car, those cars with like the 50s kind of cars that have like the wood panels. They're called Woodies.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, this guy went to a car show, took a photo of some guy's car, and just decided to airbrush it verbatim. Now, here's the problem with that. One, technically, that's that guy's car. So, you didn't really get permission to do that. Because a lot of those jobs are custom, and there's all these like rules and laws and stuff. But the guy kept not only the dude's license plate in the shirt, in the fucking side view mirror, he left the reflection of the owner in the car. So the shirt got printed, and they got sued, and I got the word right as I was leaving. It didn't take long, Brandon. It didn't take long. It's a small fucking world. So I sat there, I'm like, guys, I would have caught that. So anytime something goes wrong on a t-shirt, they would always try to find a way to blame the art department, right? And so one time, I shit you not, a shirt caught fire. And the owner of it was an Avengers shirt or some fucking kid shirt. I was pretty sure it was a Marvel shirt around 2012 because they were using these cheap ass inks from, a third world country I don't want to name. And the owner goes, "Who did the design?" And I'm like, "Are you really suggesting we caught the kid on fire?" Like I couldn't help myself. No, I'm pretty quiet in the art department, right?
Right.
But when the owner was like, "Who did that?" I'm like, "Are you implying the artists set a kid on fire?" Like it's or really can't. And finally, my art director, who normally just takes the hit, goes, "We're not taking the hit for that." We didn't light a kid on fire, guys. You can't go blaming the artist for shirts igniting. Like what? The art was so hot,
Stuff is on fire.
So it does happen.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So I've been doing this scribbly stuff, and I pass it off to you because here's the thing, folks. I get nervous. You know, like when I'm like, I'd never make a fucking post that goes, "This is my new art style." Like I would never. I'm not that guy. I'm not the novel. You know, I'm not. You know, I like Mike, but sometimes that guy. I remember Mike once posted that this is his new way of signing things. It's my new signature, and I was like, Mike, don't do that. Like, even McFarlane, you know, shouldn't. I would tell Jim Lee not to fucking tell people that he's changing his signature. You know, because it's not. You don't want to be that guy. Anyhow, um, but like I get nervous, you know, because I'm like, man, I'm gonna catch a lot of shit. You know, I don't know about catching shit, but I don't know. You know, I'm gonna get the he can't fucking draw thing. But I'm up a shit creek here, folks, because the fact of the matter is, I got a lot of work to do over the next few months, and over the next couple of years, I really want to start producing books. And the only way that's gonna happen, man, is if my art changes.
If you speed up the process.
Yeah, I mean by triple fold. And this whole like using apps to make smooth lines cleaner and draw for me, it doesn't work for me. Like I was just sketching tonight on my iPad, and I don't know what it is about using the Apple Pencil and the iPad. I don't know what it is, but my hand gets seriously cramped. You know, but on a Cintiq, I don't. Maybe it's just the way the Cintiq is sitting, the shape of the. I have the classic pen, you know, for the Wacom class. I don't know what it is, but I just don't have any hand fatigue problems when I use my Cintiq. You know, so but like I said, so something's got to fucking change, man. Like I just can't. And I thought maybe drawing these things, you know, with the coat with the multi-liners with the pencil shading would be a way. The problem is when you go to color that shit, it doesn't work. Like I've tried many times, man, and I mean I did with like the Final Fantasies and stuff, but it takes a tremendous amount of effort of coloring, you know. So like now I'm spending, you know, 8 to 12 hours drawing something and another 8 to 12 hours coloring. I mean, if that's 24 hours, I could get 6 pages done.
Right.
With the scribbly stuff, and I just gotta like I don't know, like Brandon, have you looked at the state of web comics and indie comics today?
Yeah, they're not. I don't see the way you're doing it to be a downgrade to what is online. I mean, there's not a lot of. I mean, people put effort into it and some don't, but for what you're doing, you definitely can tell you're going to put in more effort than most will. So it wouldn't be a downgrade. It wouldn't be like someone would say, "I'm like, oh, I'm getting cheated here with this webcomic." No, they'd be like, "Oh shit, this is dope. This is cool. I haven't seen a lot like this." So it's definitely good. You know, it has a lot of action and energy to it, which a lot of comics sometimes, and comics in general, lack. You know, the fun, the energy to it. So nobody's going to see this and feel like they're being cheated, even if it's a webcomic.
So I think what I'm going to do is I get done with Megavisions here pretty soon, and then the cover for that's going to be done in a scribbly style, and a couple little characters I made up for the book are going to be done in a scribbly style. After that, I got to go do the Darksiders for about 4 or 5 hours a day until that's done. I got
which is detailed.
So I can't just change that, you know what I mean? Because they won't match. So what I'm thinking I might do is I'll work on that, but I think what I'll probably do is in between that, like maybe an hour or every other day or something, do like a scribbly. You know what I mean? Like of something, and then post it just to keep the scribbly thing going and sort of just get something done, you know? And but yeah, so not to say I'm not gonna ever draw clean again. I just think that I need to save that shit for.
It still looks clean. It's not like it's like you could see the coolness of the lines and the sketchy stuff. Like it's when you get a sketch at a con and they don't erase all the lines and you get to see some of that inner working. It reminds me of something like that, where you get to see the cool shapes that you started with, and then the colors come in and the shading, and it's cool. It adds a grit to it without you having to do all your details and any kind of splatter or anything like that. It just adds that extra coolness to it. I don't know. I'm a big fan of seeing more of the sketch and the process and more loose stuff than maybe a fully digitally rendered thing. Like Eddie Nunez, I just donated to his Kickstarter because he's putting out a book where it shows a lot of his sketch stuff and a lot of his unfinished things, and I like that. I like that more loose, creative look to it than a fully finished, rendered out piece. So,
yeah, well, we'll see, man. If I can completely replace all my shit with it, then I will. Otherwise, we'll see how it goes. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing. So back in the day, I want to say about, oh man, when I was at Play, so we were doing this Death Junior book, and I'll see if I can find this. So we did these promo cards for Comic-Con, and thank you for telling me the device is not ready when it is, clearly. So, and I remember I did this sketch of DJ, who's Death Junior. I did this promo sketch of DJ sliding on a motorcycle, like a hell bike or something, firing off a gun, and it's like hell gun and stuff. And let me see if I can find this. And so I did this sketch, and Dave, my publisher, really, really liked it. And then I went to go clean it up, and he was like, I don't like it. He didn't like the cleanup. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, it doesn't look as good. He's like, the other one looked better. I'm like, the sketch? Where is this fucking ad? See, I got everything in here but the fucking one thing I need. Here we go. I can kind of show some of this. So, turn on this intake. So, yeah, so this was the promo thing I did. This is an inverted. So what I had to do was I took the sketch and I inverted. This is old, folks. This is like 2008 or 7, somewhere around there. It's 10 years older. But I went to clean this little sketch up and he hated it. So I didn't know what to do. So I took the sketch and inverted it on a black card so it would work, at least for whatever it was. But I just remember he preferred that rough sketch over the final. I did these are really bad. These were my initial colors for this promo piece, and I was like, I can't color, so I got him to give me a budget, and I hired Diego to do these colors. Look, want to see when I used to draw things physically with pencil? Look at this is.
Oh my.
Yeah, this is before I gave myself serious carpal tunnel. I couldn't do fine details with a pencil, man. Just did not work. These were my initial roughies for all this Death Junior stuff back in the day, 10 years ago. Yeah, see, there's the sketch I did. But, yeah. So, yeah. So, but ever since then, I've been like, I gotta get better at this. I don't know if better is the word, but I definitely think that, like, there was a way of coloring, like, find a way to make it work, with the coloring, so it looks complete. Does that make sense? Like it might be rough, but it looks complete. You ever see something you're like, that don't look like, I don't know, something not right about it. But I'll tell you what, Brandon, like, there is a problem I have, man, where I read comics and I'm like, man, the fucking thumbnails look better. Like, I think, I mean, some people perfect that and it doesn't matter. Like, Sean Gordon Murphy's final stuff looks great. Capullo does a good job of it. But I look at, like, Finch's final stuff. I'm like, I bet you his sketches were better. Like, it's super, right? Like, it's just super fucking, I don't know what it is. There's just so much to it that, unless it's hyper, like, rendered and stuff, but I don't know. It's enough of that. But, so that's what I've been doing. And I want to talk something else. So, how much of this can I say? So, I've been having to transition my thought process. So, normally, like, I've been doing, for the past 4 or 5 years, I've been really focusing on, like, pinups, covers, one-off images. And now everything I'm doing is more based around gameplay mechanics. Like, movement. Like, if you have... It's like the difference between drawing a Street Fighter cover and drawing, like, possibilities for Ryu in Street Fighter 6. Like, which ways can you use reuse powers, you know? Like, you know. So, it's like I'm having to go back to a different way of thinking, which is more like an animator. You know, where it's not about one individual image so much as it is about, like...
The story?
Yeah, working the story through the art. You know? So, that really messed with me not too long ago. Like, literally the other night, I was working on something that I didn't know how to do. I figured out a way to do it, but it caused such a headache that I slept for 12 hours. like this is the problem, folks. Like, I end up in these jobs where they hire me, but they don't really hire me for what I can do. They hire me for what I could do. So I don't really know what I'm doing when I come on board, and I'm not the best person at doing it in the group. So everyone else is performing. It's like when you went to the art department and, you know, you're trying to make a t-shirt, and then, hey, there's Rob, and I've been doing it for, like, you know, over 10 years, and I have a process. I know what I'm doing. I know how to show it. And then you're over there like, you know.
I'm over there trying to turn the fucking computer on. Like, I'm just like, I can't log in. This is... yeah.
It's a lot like that. Only I don't have the opportunity to quit. Like, I have to stick with it, you know. Yeah. So, it's been a lot of that. And so I had a nice win today. They were very happy with the stuff I turned in. And they're like, great, now we need more. And I'm like, I got to get out the house. Like, I got to get the fuck away from here and not do anything. So, yeah. So I went to the barber shop today and hung out there for a few hours.
Nice.
Showed off my Mega Man book. And gave my buddy down there my extra copy.
Oh, thanks. I was hoping for that. Thanks. Thanks.
I'm giving you enough, Brandon.
I'm so glad.
Don't you think? Look at this icon. Look at this Mega Potato right there. There, that's you.
I deserve the book.
Look, that's like you deserve the book.
Well, I guess when we get done with this podcast today, your buddy at the barbershop can upload the video.
You want to go there?
Not at all. Oh, I can't. I don't have any hair.
Let's see if you want. Well, neither does he. He shaved all his hair off. I walked in today. I'm like, no hair. It's not a good look for you. I get why he did it, you know, but I'm like, I think you should not do that.
So, next topic.
I don't know. You got to Brandon, I'll just keep rambling. Look, I don't do this podcast for views. We're way past that. Like, like we are never. So I switched to podcast to Pinecast, and I used to be at Podomatic, and so I switched it to Pinecast because Pinecast lets me have unlimited storage, and Podomatic didn't, and so it took a while to get everything transferred over. But Pinecast, man, they're really big on sending me emails like, hey, man, we missed you. You should post another podcast, and how you can, like, engage people. And I'm like, I don't want to engage anyone, and I don't care if I didn't post anything. Like, I'm not making money off this fucking podcast, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I watched the views, Brandon. They're in, like, single digits, you know? And even the old podcast, it was maybe we got 50 views, and then every now and then, I'd get 10,000 downloads. And then Podomatic would want to charge me for it. So it happened 3 times. One with remember I did that episode, 25 Things They Don't Teach in Art School?
All right.
That got like, it was an insane amount, dude. It was like 50,000 downloads. Yeah, it was an insane amount. Because, you know, fucking people hate art school. So that went around. And then it goes 50, 50, 50, 10, 27 downloads. And then I get hit with, we did one on those art thieves that did like 10,000, 15,000 downloads, and then my bandwidth fucking ran out. And then nothing. And then I did one other one on something on graphic design or something. But the art school one was the most. Things they don't teach in art school or should teach or whatever. So, just in case we ever... But I don't think we'll ever get that because I am not titling these. You know what I mean? These only say episode 7, episode 6. I don't put the contents of what's in here in the description.
Right.
And look, there's a couple reasons for this. One, I don't want the fucking fame when I say some stupid shit. You know what I mean? Like, if I say some stupid shit, I don't really want, like, hey, here's things they should teach in art school, and I don't really want that going around. Let me, I mean, I do and I don't. Like, if people stumble onto it, then great. Here's fucking something you should listen to. Right. But if the problem is, if I have too many of that, what happens is it sets precedents for people to, like, say, what else should they not do? You know what I mean? What else should things be doing? And then this whole fucking endeavor of mine becomes like me teaching people, and I fucking don't. I'm not good at teaching people. Like, right, Brandon? Brandon, as someone who constantly has to hear me tell you what to do, what do I normally tell you what to do? When you need to figure something out, what do I say?
Go fuck myself.
Well, not quite, but I do say go find it, right?
Yes, find it, go do it.
Show me what you got, and then I'll, show me what you got,
Yeah, it's very Karate Kid like.
Yes, I'd say it's more Cobra Kai like, really, but
yeah. So it's every time it makes me laugh because we've talked about this over the past couple of years, but every time we've had some new people to the cast or the stream, they're always like, "Oh, I could be your sidekick, Rob. I could do the things Brand does. I could blah blah blah." I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Could you be sitting in bed on a Wednesday night at midnight and Rob will tell you, hey, I really need this sent to me, or I need this video uploaded,' and you'll get out of bed and do it?"
Yeah.
No, you won't. Or
and
you
better.
Give up your Friday night to not play video games or go to the movies so you can talk about this stuff online?
Well, you better.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's always
because I've cut you off before, and life wasn't that much fun for you, right? As little fun as there is now, it was less fun, right? Plus, you get addicted to the rush, right? Like,
oh yeah, you know it.
He does. He does. It's funny to watch because you'll go, man, we should really do that thing that I hate and that you constantly ridicule me over. But you always come back.
It's like the gym. I hate it, but I know it's good for me. And in the end, hopefully it'll pay off or I'll die. So one of the two. I'll either die from all this or it'll pay off someday. So.
Hey, everyone should know, though, if you're interested in the podcast that I used to do, it's not available on iTunes or the Play Google, and there's a reason for that. Podomatic was charging me way too much. They wanted $300 or $500 a year, man, to host all that shit. And I'm like, fuck that. So I deleted all of them, including the one with 75,000. I deleted it all. I didn't care. But they are on the YouTube page. I'll show really quickly. On the YouTube page right here, it says SketchCraft Podcast 2010 to 2014. They are all in here, and they will play in order because Brandon, right? I made you put them in here, right?
Yes.
So I'm showing people
painstakingly
your efforts. And what's great is you get to hear the old theme song from this. Right? Want to hear it right now? Let's see if it'll play. Listen to that. Do, 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 do. My buddy made this. It's so horrible. I like that little horn. So he had this band he called himself Planetary Evolutionary Theory.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I know, right? He's like pet, man. It's like our pet project. I'm like, you're like that 7 billion fucking artist who's come with these stupid pet projects. So I said, why don't you call yourself something cool, like, because you like science and shit. Why don't you call yourself like 6-string theory or something like that, like string theory and guitars? No, he went with Planetary Evolutionary Theory. So I'm the only person that ever played this music, right? And it's him and this other guy. And so then they changed their band to Mount because his partner's last name is Mount. And they had a gig in Hillcrest in San Diego, which is the super gay part of town. And so I was like, wait, hold on. It's 2 guys, and you're going to be playing in the gayest part of town, and your band's name is Mount? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I got to go. Like, I got to be there for this. Yeah, no, keep standing.
Welcome to SketchCraft.
Yeah, welcome to SketchCraft. So that was the original podcast. That's the theme song. And I'm the only one who ever played it. And he was, I don't know, man. He wasn't too happy about it. Funny part is, I did this podcast enough that his partner started listening to it. And he loved the podcast so much that he quit the band to become an artist. So he doesn't talk to me too much anymore. I'm like, I wouldn't quit my day job having listened to my podcast. But all right.
No. I'm just gonna pick some randomness here.
Well, we're already there, Brandon. It's
yeah. Hey, Luke Cage, season 3.
Oh no.
Canceled.
Oh, no. What, really? They canceled season 3?
Canceled season 3. Along with Iron Fist is not going to get a season 3, obviously.
Now, I knew that Iron Fist was canceled. I had not heard about Luke Cage.
Broke either, I don't know, sometime today, I believe, because my phone just lit up on my Instagram about it, because I like a lot of Luke Cage stuff.
Do you think that's because they're going to do like a Heroes for Hire show, or do you think it's because Netflix was like, we're not getting enough clicks off this?
I think it could be. So that's the problem. You know, they got the new Disney streaming they're going to be coming out with, you know.
That has nothing to do with it, though.
Right. So that's what I thought at first. I thought, oh, maybe some kind of Disney thing, but you can't put Luke Cage on like a Disney.
No, they can, and they absolutely can. The problem is this iteration of these characters in these shows, they signed an exclusive deal with Netflix, so they got first option to all this. Disney can't just take it anyhow.
Gotcha. I don't think they'll do a Heroes for Hire because the Defenders didn't do that well. You know, so I mean, they're grouping them together. Didn't do well. The only ones that do well is, I guess, Jessica Jones and Daredevil.
Look, I loved the first season of Jessica Jones, so I heard the second season was so-so. I'm like, I don't know about that. I'll watch it.
I hated it.
Now,
my wife hated it.
Thank you for talking over me. You will get a chance to talk, Brandon. This is my podcast. I don't give a fuck what Wesley says. I talk on my podcast. So
I've had a lot of soda. Sorry.
You're back on the soda?
I had a very long day, and if you wanted me to stay up tonight to be on the cast, I needed some caffeine.
You're up every night. What are you talking about?
I'm dead tired today, though. I went into work early. Anyways, where were we?
Luke Cage. So it's Jessica Jones season 2. So I put it on, and I couldn't get through the second episode. Now let me explain to you what drove me away from the show. It really felt to me like they got a bunch of people in the second season that were trying to write a comic book show and weren't writing the show, weren't creating an extension of what came before it. For me, all of the Netflix shows should be one part something, a genre, plus Unbreakable. Like, to me, the Netflix series of the Marvel stuff, the superhero stuff should never exceed the level of Unbreakable, the movie Unbreakable, where things are heightened, right? Yeah. Like, unlike, say, something like the CW shows, which are like, you know, direct-to-DVD, kind of like CGI and giant superhero comic booky stuff. I always felt like so for me, Daredevil is like, it's like Law and Order plus Unbreakable. Jessica Jones to me was like a film noir, you know, PI detective show plus Unbreakable. Luke Cage was like The Wire, you know, or The Shield plus Unbreakable.
Right.
And Iron Fist should have been The Raid plus Unbreakable.
Oh yeah,
but it wasn't. And so the second season, like, there's this thing where this guy is running super fast, and it just looks so bad, like the way they did it. And I get that.
What looks worse, that guy running or the Flash running in Justice League?
That guy running. It can't. Come on. Now you could say what looks worse, that guy running or Henry Cavill's fake face. You know, that would be a legitimate. I'd have to go with Henry Cavill. But the zipper thing or what, the whizzer, I think is it. But then she starts making these jokes that are like, they're written by people who okay, let me give you a joke. She said something like she made this scroty sense. Like scrotum. This is my scroty sense. It's tingling. Yeah. And I was like, first, she doesn't talk like that. You know, it's not her character. And second of all, like these are people that are writing jokes at the expense of comic books. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel, man, it felt like the writing felt closer to, like, a 2003 Fox film like a Ghost Rider or a Rise of the Silver Surfer or like a Catwoman. And I was like, I don't. This is embarrassing. I gotta turn this off. I'm not saying they can't figure their way out this one, but they need to reevaluate.
Yeah.
Now, why did you not like it?
It just listen. I like men's superheroes. I love women's superheroes. I'm not a guy where I'm like, oh, I don't like women's superheroes. When I watched Jessica Jones the first season, it wasn't like she's a badass chick. It was just like this person is exactly how I'd want a superhero who doesn't give a shit being portrayed. Like, it was so cool. She was just like, yeah, I got these powers, but I don't give a shit. I'm just trying to live my life and do jobs, and she had a drinking problem. It was very character driven, but she also had powers. It wasn't like she's a superhero who sometimes is upset. She was just a normal person trying to get through her day-to-day things, and I loved it. I thought it was cool. She wasn't above anybody else. She wasn't like
Unbreakable when he's a security guard at a stadium.
He could be so much more, but he doesn't care to be. He's content with it. He does his day-to-day thing, and I liked it a lot. And then it felt like in the second season, like you said, it was like they were trying to write a comic book character, and it wasn't like a person who's in a comic book world. It was just too much like, we're trying real hard to get in these cameos and these weird facts, and more super soldiers and more people fighting. Her mom's a villain, her mom's the hero, her mom's all this stuff. And I was just like, I couldn't get past, I think, episode 3. I think I gave it to 3. And my wife, who's a huge fan of the first season, hated this season. I mean, she hated it. She I don't even know if she finished. I think she got to episode 10 out of 12 or something. I don't even know if she finished it. She didn't talk about it at all. So
she should be more like Eddie Valiant from Roger Rabbit. Like, if I'm being serious. Like, Roger Rabbit's an interesting movie. So I've had this discussion before, and this is my belief on Roger Rabbit. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I've never heard this.
Okay, so Who Framed Roger Rabbit goes through 2 phases, and this is how you know that you've grown up. All right.
Okay.
When you're a kid and you watch Roger Rabbit, you fucking love Roger.
Yes.
And you can't fucking stand Eddie Valiant. When you've grown up, you fucking hate Roger and you root. Literally, you're like, Eddie Valiant's the greatest fucking character ever made. Like it's Brandon. If you watched it in a while,
no,
that's since you were a kid, right?
Right.
And you probably couldn't stand the Eddie Valiant shit with his brother and the drinking problem, right? And you were like, I just want to get to the Roger. Go watch it again. You're gonna be like, kick that rabbit's ass, like kick his ass, fucking like drink some more, beat the shit out of a weasel, like it's just they found a way to put the mind of a kid's movie and the mind of an adult movie in the same film. It's pretty genius.
All right.
When you think about it. And to me, like, she's definitely like an Eddie Valiant. But you don't want Roger in the show. You just want someone who's really broken and other people want them to be a better person. And she's like, this is who I... Like, there isn't a better me. This is me.
Right.
There isn't a better... I'm not running from who I am. I'm not... you could be I could be a whatever. You go be that person. Well, we don't have the superpowers. I'm like, then I can't fucking control what I don't give a shit whether I got a superpower or don't. And this was it was really just veering off into CW show territory. Everyone's got a power now. Remember when they did that on Arrow? It was like by the 3rd season, everyone literally had a superpower. Everybody. Everyone was on the team. And I'm like, I didn't sign up for this. I want the one guy. I don't want everyone having fucking superpowers. I just want one, maybe another one here and there. But everyone, the chick, the fucking Diggle, everyone's got a fucking superpower. So I had to quit. But I hear good things about Daredevil. They've taken long enough to make it. So I got a feeling, though, they're going to pair those two together. The Heroes for Hire or whatever.
Maybe.
Huh. But it does suck when they cancel an entire show because that's a lot of people's jobs that ain't coming back. So
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They had the showrunner on Fat Man Batman, or now it's Fatman Beyond. But they had him on not too long ago. And I liked the cut of his jib. I like what he had to say. But I didn't see Luke Cage season 2. So
Yeah.
don't know why I haven't sat down and watched it.
It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's towards the. I'll put it this way. I think it got a little repetitive towards the end of the second season, where you're kind of like, something will happen. They'll regroup, like the bad guys will regroup back at their place. The heroes regroup back at their place, and then it's like the same things happen again, and then they regroup, and it just got to a point like, really, this is still happening, like it's still going on. Yeah, I think it could have been a couple episodes shorter, and I think it wouldn't have hurt it any.
For me, there's just so much anime, man. And people can fucking kiss my ass. I like animation, man.
Speaking of anime, I saw the My Hero Academia movie.
Versus seeing Venom?
Versus seeing Venom. I went to the theater. I paid to see an anime movie and nice recliner seats, and it was fucking awesome.
I believe that. Yeah.
It was it needed? No. Did it really add anything to the series of the show? Not much. A couple little things here and there. But at no point was I like, this is a waste of money. The whole time I was sitting there loving it. Surround sound. The art was beautiful. The story was good. I thought it was awesome. Like, I definitely would go see it.
My Hero Academia is like the Japanese equivalent of Invincible and Savage Dragon. Like it has that universe, like with all the characters. It reminds me of like the Savage Dragon universe, where there's all these different, but the main hero's storyline is more similar to Invincible in a way, like, or Shazam or whatever. But yeah, so I really, I think, for me, the two best superhero things to come out in the last 5 years have been One Punch Man and My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, good job, Japanese. If only we could fucking, people, and it's not because of the politics, folks. It's got nothing to do with it. I like that they're first off, the fucking books aren't drawn realistically.
Right.
They're not out there trying to draw as photographs of Ezra Miller. As yeah. I don't know about you, Brandon, man, but when I open up a Star Wars book and they look just like the actors, I chuck it. Like I have no interest in it.
It's like, I've seen the movies. I don't need to see it now in my print form.
All they're doing is tracing scenes from the movies to get the books done.
Right.
So my favorite Star Wars thing ever is the Star Wars manga, the first one, the New Hope manga, and I actually thought the prequel manga was not long enough, but drawn well. It was drawn by Kia Azamiya.
Okay.
And I liked it. But
my wife likes the droid ones, the droid books. She has those ones. But
I don't read the modern Star Wars books, man. So
I think it's a little older, but anyways.
You talking about the one with the Tom Kennedy covers or Cassidy or whatever you talking about from Dark Horse?
I don't know.
Well, look, if they look realistic, I don't give a shit, man. Like but I'm in the minority. Like I know, like when I showed the Star Wars manga to a few of my friends, they were like, they look like cartoons. I'm like, no, because they're fucking cartoons, dumbass. It's not like they sat down to Mark Hamill and they ended up with that, moron.
Yeah. What's that guy's name on Instagram we both follow that does the Jawa type stuff? It's the
Otis Frampton.
Yeah. I like his stuff because his is fun and cool, and he does plays off other things, and I like that. I like that guy's stuff.
He does that all with that ink brush, that digital ink brush, and like him and Derek Loffman do that, and I'm like, I can't do it. I cannot do the brush work where you draw the single stroke, right? You get the little like the creature box guys do. I don't have it in me, man. Like it does not compute. So that's why I'm stuck with Scribbly style. But yeah, I like his little cover. I think that landed him some work, but over at IDW with the
good for him.
So, I got hit up today by IDW to do some covers, but I can't do anything. So.
Oh, big time!
No, but I'm like, I just can't, guys. I'm topped up, from now until at least January. So sorry. Which means they won't talk to me for another 2 years.
Right.
That's what happens.
Yeah, it usually works. You turn somebody down. They
get
take a
mad,
while to
dude.
process that.
They get very angry, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
I turned udon down once, and that didn't go over too well. Like to this day, they're not.
I was gonna say to this day, aren't they still?
Little bit.
Yeah.
They like to hang it over my head every now and then. Like, we got some stuff, maybe. Well, we'll talk later. I'm like, you fucking, you guys. You know. Every now and then they go, when are you gonna finish the Darksiders piece? I'm like, you fucking guys. Like, it's funny, man. Like, you know.
We got time for another topic, or no? We're at 54.
I don't care how long we take. I don't pay for storage anymore.
Oh, okay.
Talk as long as you want.
I'm gonna do one more topic and then save the rest for the next cast because I hate trying to come up with 80 topics. All right, here's the thing that I want your input on. So, with the Joker movie coming out and the new Spider-Man movie coming out in a year, you know, it's not around the corner. It's gonna be another year. We're seeing tons of leaked cell phone pictures. You know, more so than any other movies lately. It's like this one really because they're filming in New York so much. You know, you're seeing all the images, the looks, the costumes, and everything. So much that, and I think this was a thing I think obviously Marvel decided to do it, that they had Tom Holland come out on Jimmy Kimmel the other night wearing the new Spider-Man outfit. Okay. And I think they wouldn't have done that if there hadn't been so many leaked pictures. Now
they don't care.
They don't care?
They don't care.
I mean, does this make you more excited to see a movie when you see all this, Rob, or does this bug the hell out of you when you see all this?
It doesn't bug me. But I am not attached to this. Okay, here's the thing, man. Like, so my experience as a kid growing up with comics was I would have no one at school to talk to about comics except for maybe two people. One, an artist friend of mine who had all the comics, and another friend of mine who liked to draw, who had very little, but we had a shared love of comics, right? Okay. So one guy had the comics, and my other friend was a fan of comics. We couldn't talk to comics to anyone else. It just didn't go over very well.
Right.
Unless I drew something, then I could impress some people. Now, when I go to a comic book shop, I found out I can't talk to anybody in a comic book shop. You know, because they're weird. I go to a comic shop, and I remember Robin had died, and they were like, Robin shouldn't die. I'm like, he doesn't really, like, they would be like, Wolverine would never do this. And I'm like, he does whatever the writer, even as a little kid, I'm like, he'll do whatever the writer says he'll do.
Right.
You could clamor for a different writer, but you can't tell me a character wouldn't do something, because if I'm writing Wolverine, I can make Wolverine do whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't.
Right.
There isn't. So I learned very quickly that I don't get too involved with super fandom. When I would go to Comic Con in the early 90s, I went solely to meet creators and to talk to creators about how they created a certain page. I never was there to talk about storylines or what's going on. I mean, whatever happened is whatever they did, and I would like it or not like it, but as long as I like the artistry of it, I'm on board. You know, so I don't have that thing, man. You know, where it's like a leaked photo is going to change my opinion. Trailers don't change my opinion. If I have no desire to see a movie because I know who's making it, like, I knew the creative team for Venom. I knew the president of Sony is that fucking Tim Rothman or Tom Rothman. I always forget if it's Tim or Tom. The guy who used to run Fox during the Fantastic Four movies, the first two, and, you know, all that bullshit. And the X-Men films, and he was the one that kept Sentinels out the movies because he was like, giant robots won't ever work. And so I'm like, Tom Rothman's running this Marvel film. And they're like, well, Tom Rothman ran Spider-Man Homecoming. No, Marvel ran that. It was a joint in terms of sharing financials, but it was a Marvel production. That's why on Venom it says in association with Marvel. Because that just means they got the license. Marvel had nothing to do with that film. That's why that film feels more like Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man Homecoming. I keep telling people, you may as well just assume that's the same universe as Andrew Garfield.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I kind of almost wish they would let them put Andrew Garfield in the movie of Spider-Man, so we know that doesn't, you know what I mean? We can get past this nonsense. But they have the way the contract, as I understand it, is they can't do anything with any Spider-Man at all.
Oh, wow.
in live action without Marvel's approval. So
because it'll maybe possibly tarnish their
well, no, just because that's the deal Marvel made, with them. So so I don't, when they're like, hey, what do you think about, what's a good example of this? Like, what do you think about the casting of this fucking film? Like, I don't know, man. We'll see how it works. Because you know how many times I've seen amazing casting? Like, Max von Sydow is going to be in The Force Awakens. And then he's in it for like 1 second. Like, I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? If that's going to be an amazing role. What if he gets no opportunity to do anything? I don't care if fucking leak photos from a set don't... Like, first off, you should know, every photo from the set of The Dark Knight looks stupid. There was photos of Heath Ledger on a skateboard, I remember. And they're like, the Joker's on a skateboard. This is not the Joker. He's too fat. He's not thin enough. And doesn't, he's gritty and dark and you can't see the purple in his costume. All this bullshit, Meanwhile, they got a Venom movie where Venom doesn't have the fucking logo on it and the hardcores are like, it's the best Venom ever. I'm like, I thought you cared about all the fucking costume shit. You know what I mean? I thought you cared about... I mean, for real, Brandon. Like, what it is it's a giant troll game. And I really believe that half the fucking posts that you read on the internet that are negative are just like Russian bots. I don't believe half of them are real. You can just delete, not all of them, 50% of it. Gone. And so then that remaining 50%, that 25% of people are the people that I would go to Comic-Con and watch. I'll watch two grown men in 1992 fight over whether Optimus Prime should have died in the Transformers movie or not, from 1987. I watched him get into a fight over this. And I was like, I'm at home. I think I laughed every time I see the Lego Batman laugh. When he goes, ha! Like that is... I'm not connected to that in any way, Brandon. I care literally about who's making things, how they get made, production, budgets, hitting things on time. What was the take? What was the tone? What was it like in the room when you were writing the scripts? What did you not have time to do? What were you forced to... I care about real making of. I don't really care about ultimately what even the design is, so long as the totality... Here's a good example. I thought the look of Quicksilver in Days of Future Past was horrible. But what they did with Quicksilver in that movie was way better than what they did with Quicksilver in Age of Ultron.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I go and see that and go, proven wrong. All right, it's how But I don't go on the internet and fucking start ranting to people, here's why Quicksilver in this movie is actually better than... Like, I don't fucking give a shit, man. Like, I really don't... Here's why this movie is really better than, underrated, and this movie you thought was great sucks. Fuck you guys. Don't tell me what I like or don't like. I'm the only motherfucker I know who loves Delicious in Dungeon. I own every fucking volume, I don't care if it is the #1 manga or the number 50 manga. Like, when I was a kid, I read Spawn. I have all 100, the first 100 issues, 120 issues of Spawn. From Capullo's run, from the McFarlane to Capullo to Angel Medina's run, and when he left, I quit. I'm like, well, I'm out. I didn't care that I was the only motherfucker buying Spawn. Like, it was my favorite book. That's the book I liked reading. I don't give a shit, like, if it was not popular, and the story sucks, and the character sucks, and I'm like, I don't fucking... It's what inspires me, I fucking love it. And if I love it, then I'm sticking up. I like Spider-Man Homecoming. So much so, I just watched it the other night because my cousin came into town. And I'm like, this movie gets even better the 50th time you see it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first time I saw it, I'm like, that was fun. Second time I saw it, I'm like, this really works. The third time I saw it, I'm like, it is genius. Like, it's got that small... Like, when they do the Ferris Bueller run... that movie when he's running to the backyard, you go, oh, this is like Ferris Bueller, and then they cut to Ferris Bueller. I'm like, that's good play, because now you can't say, oh, look, we swiped it from Ferris Bueller. They put Ferris Bueller in the fucking movie. That's genius. And I have yet to see anybody, Brandon, not be shocked when they find out that Michael Keaton is her father. When that door opens up and Michael Keaton opens the door, I have yet to see anyone goes, "Oh, I knew that was happening."
Right.
You never expect him to be her father, which says a lot when you think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, all the unspoken things. And when you rewatch it, you see like all that time the Vulture's looking at the TV, like when there was that attack at the science don. Yeah, and you look at it and you think, oh, he's looking because of Spider-Man. No, he's looking because his daughter was there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's this little shit like that I'm like, this is great. This is awesome. You know, but there are these group of people who are like, oh, I did he's Iron Man Jr. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what. I love this fucking movie. You know what I mean? Like, there's a billion fucking Spider-Man storylines in the comics you don't even know about. You know, don't even get started. Let's get, you literally the comics. What like the comics? Like the Clone Saga? You know, you want to relive that boat? Like, what about Spider-Man Year Zero? Like, here's a scoop for you. So it's rumored that John Byrne is going to return to the X-Men. And all the comics gators are like, that's right, we're going to get John Byrne back. And I'm like, did you read Spider-Man Year Zero? 1999, I remember, you know? Fucking horrible. Brandon, horrible. All right?
Yeah.
He's not the John Byrne you remember. So much so that Eric Larson spent a good amount of time on Twitter just making fun of his art. Anytime John Byrne posts some shitty con sketch, Eric Larson's there to be like, this is horrendous. It's fun to watch, man. You know, pros just beating up on one another. So if they really think they're getting John Byrne back, like Art Adams would be someone to get excited about, but John Byrne, come on, man. He hasn't drawn well since the Man of Steel. Maybe Next Men. That was drawn well. Next Men was drawn well. But 1999 on Ford, that guy's been spending years now just doing that. Well, he does that Star Trek book. Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
So they do this Star Trek book, and they take photos from the series, and he re-photoshops them to make new panels with the actors, and puts the storylines in there. That's a thing now, Brandon. Could you imagine? Like, why don't we let's take this? Let's take all the scenes from the two Michael Keaton movies and just re-photoshop them to make new Michael Keaton Batman books. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, man. You know, like I'm not too fucking excited about that one. However, I did see. Did you see Capullo's Spawn? I mean, Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
No.
So it's at Walmart. They got this giant size Swamp Thing Halloween issue. It's like fucking $7 or something. The first, I don't know, like 12 or 18 pages is this Swamp Thing story that he drew. And I think Grant Morrison, your buddy Grant Morrison, I think wrote it. Really good. Really good. Worth $7, I don't know, but we're supporting Capullo over, you know?
Yeah.
And I would love to see that guy do a whole fucking Swamp Thing book. Because I say Spawn because I'm like, it's fucking Spawn. Like, I look at that Swamp Thing, I'm like, he looks like a rotting corpse. I'm like, I love this Spawn Thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got my money. So I bought it. Anything else, Brandon?
I think I want to save the...
Use it up. Let's go. Let's use it up. If we don't have anything to talk about next week, we don't make a podcast, so bring it up. What do you got?
No.
You better bring it up. I'm going to look. I have access. Don't make me look.
All right. There's programs. There's new art programs coming out for always art programs coming out. But there's one that you've talked about that you liked, and it's called Affinity Design.
Affinity Designer.
Yeah. Which is basically a replacement for Adobe Illustrator,
right,
know, for vectoring type stuff. Now, do you think programs like that, Affinity, can help battle against high-end paint art subs like Adobe has?
Well, and yeah, anything you pay for once helps.
Right. I mean, do you see that as making a comeback, or you think we just got lucky with Affinity Design? And by what I mean by that is, for people who don't know, Affinity Design is $50, and every time they have an update, you get it for free. You get the stuff for free. You get things like that, all the updates. You don't have to pay for a newer version of it. As to where, like, Adobe Cloud, which I do have, but I'm going to cancel it, and I think I'm going to get Affinity Design. You have to constantly pay subscriptions for the same the same stuff. And I'm thinking I'm just going to keep Photoshop for like $10 and then maybe get Infinity Design. So whenever you ask me to do any kind of vector art or anything like that, I'll just use Infinity Design. Now, do you think we got lucky with Infinity Design, or you think that it might start to make a comeback now where people are going to put out quality art programs to kind of combat?
Well, the Infinity Designer is a problem with the fact that Illustrator is a fucking horrible program.
It's so hard to use.
It just sucks, and I get stuck using it with certain clients who have they try to use it like InDesign where they embed a bunch of fucking things and they want me to paste up and put images. I can't stand it. So I've always been looking for an alternative because there's basically the only alternative has been to have to go backwards in time and use things like Quark Express or Corel Draw and shit, which I don't want to go and do. So I found Infinity Designer, which has had its issues, but you can still open it up and start using it right away. With Illustrator, you're going to do things and be like, oh, I'll click here and do that. And you're going to find out, nope, can't do that. I can't select that fucking thing. I just want to select that thing. I can't select it. It doesn't work right. Everything has to, it just seems to work against you. I find that to be a completely different conversation than, say, like a Photoshop replacement, where Photoshop, there's so many ways to do any one thing. You could do the same thing 6 different ways. The problem is people who are new to Photoshop go, well, I don't understand it. It's too complicated, so I want something that's more simpler.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so with Photoshop, I can do draw, I can do graphic design, I can do typography, I can do animation, I can do a lot of different things. And I know it so well that anytime I use anything different, I think other programs, things like Procreate and Manga Studio or Clip Studio Paint now, I call it Manga Studio. So the thing with those, they're really good at creating clean art. But for me, since I don't really have to do that, I don't really care. Like, I just sort of, I'm in an exceptional little area where I'm like, I know this so well that I'm just taking myself out of the equation. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really consider myself with these people, included with these people. However, I do need a way to make some vector stuff from time to time. And I need a solution for that doesn't involve me wanting to jump out my fucking window. I literally almost threw my computer out a window one night using Illustrator. Like, it angers me in a way that, like, politics don't even anger me. So, yeah. So I just did this logo for a guy called Reptrick, Reptrik. He put his first song up on iTunes and Google Play. And so he did the theme song for Game Cave, and I did the icons and this logo for him, and so he's starting to branch out in this DJ thing. But he needed a vector version, and I'm like, man, you're going to have to find someone else to do that shit, because, you know. But I said, hey, let me pop this sketch I did into Infinity Designer, and if I can make a vector version of this logo fairly quickly, then I'll do that, you know. And it really wasn't. Everything snapped. It was super easy to do, you know. So, like, it wasn't really that big a deal. You know, it worked out well.
Yeah.
I still personally wouldn't draw in vectors. You know, like, I don't like drawing something and it's like every stroke is 6 points on a path. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm not looking for that. You know, like, whatever that is, that ain't what I'm trying to do. So, but for vector typography and things like that, I have this great plugin that works it's called Silhouette. Silhouette. It's a plugin for Illustrator CS2. And the company went out of business, and you can't get it anymore. But this plugin, I could drop in basic flat art in there, select it, hit a button, and it vectorizes it perfectly.
Oh, wow.
And what fucking angers me is that Adobe hasn't bought this technology from them in some way, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it works way better than whatever that Illustrator Paint thing is.
It's Live Trace.
No. I brought this plugin once to the art department. My buddy who's super good with Illustrator. He's like, "Oh, just use Live Trace." And I use this shit, and he was like, "Holy fuck!" Like, it was like, it really works really well, and no problems.
Yeah.
And so, like, if I need to vectorize, like a patch, say like my SketchCraft character is going to be for patch, needs to be vector, I will just take that. I'll draw the thing in Photoshop, take it, drop it in there, and hit the silhouette plugin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but for having to manually do shit, like I'm using more of Infinity Designer. I'll be honest though, man. Like, I don't know what they're going to do in terms of replacing shit because Adobe has to do the subscription thing because they have such a high threshold of penetration. Not for a better word, but they got a lot of people using Adobe shit. There isn't much room for growth.
Yeah.
You know, unless they make some dumber version of what they're doing or change their thing.
It's like I've been paying for the cloud, right? And I got all the things. I got After Effects. I got every single one of those. I mean, I got like 30 programs, but all I end up using is Photoshop. And then sometimes when you need things vectored, you know, for elements and things, I'll use Illustrator. And I'm like, I might as well cancel. And if I need to ever do some After Effects for you, I could just have you send me a version of it, an older version, you know? Like, it just, I don't know. I feel like I've been spending my money on the subscription and it's not paying off right now. And I'm like, well, Infinity Design's $50 one time. I had Jessica try it, who's way better at vectoring than me and all that, and she loved it. You know, so I'm just like, man, I don't know if I want to keep doing the subscription stuff. It's just becomes a lot.
I thought I was going to have to use CC for this project at work, and then I realized I didn't have to, and I immediately canceled my subscription. And then fucking Adobe charged me $20 to cancel my subscription. Yeah, you agreed to sign up for a year, so we have to give you a $20 kill fee. I'm like, I fucking hate you. So they're a 6-hour drive from here, and I guarantee you, no, they're a 3-hour drive from here, because they're right at the tip of Utah and Idaho. And they're right across the street from the nearest In-N-Out. So my wife and I, before it snows, are going to make a trip to In-N-Out, and I'm going to go out there and just yell at that fucking studio like I did the last time. I drove down to Phoenix. I pulled right in front of them. I'm like, I hate you! Like, yeah.
Sounds about right.
We're supposed to have some full version of Photoshop going to the iPad. But like I said, drawing with the fucking iPad, it kills. I don't know if it's the Apple Pencil or what. I don't know what it is. But
yeah.
I get some fucking hand fatigue with sketching on the fucking iPad, you know, that I don't when I just normally draw. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just not made for this future of art. You know what I mean? It's possible. You know,
you're becoming obsolete, Rob.
You had to, in order to become obsolete, you had to once be relevant, and I guarantee I am. I've had publishers say I'm irrelevant. You know, I don't count.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But I mean, yeah, you guys shouldn't be paying $120 a year for Photoshop, man.
No, we don't do enough. It would be different if I was doing this professionally type thing. Like, I mean, I get my commissions and, you know, et cetera, but it's not like you where, you know, you're a constant working pro and you need all these programs. So I'm trying to, you know, in this year coming up, focus, like you were talking about, you know, making plans and focusing on getting things done and not you know, getting a set of wins instead of, you know, hit or misses. So I figure finances and smart art purchases would definitely be a
well, you prefer to draw in Clip Studio Paint, and you're liking Infinity Design, and for Vector, you're liking Infinity Designer. So what are you paying Adobe for?
Right. Well, I use Photo. Well, I guess I can get an older program of Photoshop to do your thumbnails and
it's possible.
So
I might know someone who has a license for that.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna just cancel it all and do that, you know, and just because I only use Photoshop now for the YouTube page, doing your thumbnails, and that's it.
Because
everything else I use, and everything else I use Clip Studio because I really like that a lot. I like the raster. I'm gonna say it. How do you say it? The raster lines.
Keep trying.
the reggae lines.
You don't know how to say that word, lines. Huh?
I don't even know what it is. I know it's just this.
You know the difference between vector and raster?
Nope.
Vectors are math, and rasters are pixels, bro.
Okay, well now I know, and everybody else listening knows. I like my lines smooth, like butter,
That's got
baby.
nothing to do with being vector or raster.
Yeah. Okay.
I always like when people tell me, well, in order to get smooth lines, it has to be vector. I'm like, that's a lie. It's a 1,000% lie. You know, I'll show you a
That's
bunch of
it.
pencil drawings, bro. That you know what I mean? Like, don't guys, don't. You know, you're just embarrassing yourself. You know, I zoomed in and saw a wobbly. You know, that's like me zooming in and saying you're filled with bugs. If you zoom in enough, you're gonna see some horrific creatures that live inside you. You know, like that's not. I mean, it's true and not true. You know, I don't see all the bugs crawling inside you consistently throughout the fucking. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Whatever. All right, so we good to go, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Anything in the chat room? Anyone show up for this?
Yeah, it's weird. There's nobody in the chat room and only one watching. For a minute there, I was afraid we weren't live streaming, but it says we were live streaming.
No, we're definitely live streaming. This is what happens when I don't stream. But people are just going to have to get used to it. Like, there's going to be these periods where I just don't stream in because I can't, you know? But when you're playing those video games I've been working on, you know, you just remember that's because Rob wasn't fucking streaming.
Yeah, everybody feel free to watch me stream on Twitch at Mega Potato Show. You could see me. You could see my wonderful dog, Gamora, the pit bull. She's the #1 pit bull on Twitch, Rob. Did you know that? Rated #1 pit bull on Twitch.
Is this like world's best hamburgers? You know what I mean? Like when they put that on there?
Yeah, I mean, I made up the stat. But
Right.
hey, no one else is claiming it, so we got it. Gamora's got the top spot. So
you might have a future in the White House, buddy. Facts
so
like those.
Unless someone else comes and claims the top spot as far as
go adopt a pit bull.
Yeah.
Put it right on Twitch.
There you go.
Better than Mega Potatoes. That's going to be better than Mega Potatoes Pitbull at Twitch.com.
Gamora's beautiful. It ain't happening.
All right. All right, everybody. You have a good week, and we'll get out of here. Brandon, say goodbye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Oh, no, I forgot to hit the... Okay, we got to wait for this song to play out.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not really goodbye.
Everybody.
No, not goodbye, everybody. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome back to the ending of the show.
Yeah, in case you missed it, we're ending the show.
Hey, Brandon, how come they don't have Funko Pop masks for Halloween? Like, wouldn't it be fun to go for Halloween as a Funko Pop Bob Ross?
Yeah.
You can't get any of their designs as Halloween masks. Doesn't that seem weird to you?
That's real weird. Even more weird that you brought it up.
Just dawned on me today. I sent them a thing on Twitter. They don't really reply to me.
No.
So, thinking I'm irrelevant.
Point.
I think I'm irrelevant. Super irrelevant. It's the end of the show, and it's time to go. Brandon can't buy stuff at SketchCraft.com because I won't let him buy some stuff. That's why he goes to Eddie Nunez's Kickstarter. He spends.
That's right.
I got Eddie
Nunez's Kickstarter book.
Spend that good SketchCraft money over at Eddie, right?
Yep.
Hey, you're welcome, Eddie.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
I did that. All right, man. Gotta go. We're out of here. Have a good weekend. Or don't. I don't really care. Go watch Daredevil. Peace, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.